Hey everybody, welcome to another timeless pick a card reading, and this one is for Halloween, where we're going to ask trick or treat, what's coming your way? So you're going to have a choice of 3 different ones to pull from. Your first one will be the ghost. Number 2 is going to be the pumpkins, and number 3 is going to be the black cat. So you can pick as many as you want, of course, for the reading. Timestamps will be in the description box of the video below, so you can jump to whichever one you want to, and we, of course, are going to start with number 1. All right. If you chose reading number 1, which is the ghost, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off here with a card from the Seed and Sickle deck. And this is a really cool deck because it actually has 2 books that come with it, one for dawn, one for dusk. And we'll see which one is a trick and which one is a treat. And we'll go off of both of those. Now, any of the cards I use in a reading, I do list in the description box below. So if any of them catch your eye and you don't want to pick them up for yourself, you know where you can grab those. So let's give this a shuffle. And we will see what comes up for you first here. All right, so for those that chose reading number 1, what would you like them to know? Trick or treat? Trick or treat? Okay, this is the one right here. We'll put this over here. And you got the wisteria, card number 4. Beautiful flower there. And I'll put that down here. And let's take a look here. We'll start with dusk first. And wisteria are actually slow to set out their leaves in spring, waiting until the weather is perfect before jumping to life. So drawing this card is a reminder to trust your instincts and listen to your inner voice before making a decision. There is power in stillness and in waiting. It may feel like others are rushing ahead in their endeavors, but you will know when the time is right for you to act. So I like that. It feels very positive that any waiting period and kind of stepping back is a positive thing for you, and to trust your mighty intuition. And then the dawn card here, it says the Korean legend, and I'm going to murder this name, so my apologies ahead of time, Do Namu, tells of 2 sisters who were both unknowingly in love with the same man. And when they discovered each other sneaking into the same tent one night, they chose to continue to love each other rather than fight over him. Nothing that is truly worth achieving can be won alone, and some things are not worth jeopardizing important relationships for. Relying on others can seem like a loss of independence, but together you can grow stronger than you would on your own. All right, so far we've got one side is about being alone and really trusting your instincts. The other is recognizing when there's kind of like this opportunity where you could choose to like battle against one another. Instead, you're coming together and focusing on the important. So we'll take a look here and see what else unfolds here. You've got these wonderful little BuzzFeed cards too, which just really wanted to speak as well. And it has 4 little stacks. The first one is nostalgia, which is probably, it's about the past. And, for those of us who are of a certain age, these things are going to mean probably something more. But we're going to take one from each stack here and see what they'd like to add into the story that's unfolding here. All right, I do want that one. And this one, I believe, is color. And then you have environment. And each of these have little meanings to them, very, very small ones. So don't worry, it's not gonna take forever. Okay, there's one there. And then we have animals. So we'll see here. Okay, they do want that one. All right. So you've got developing photos. I'm going to put this one, we'll put it over here. And then you have BuzzFeed yellow. The color is, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So we'll put that there. And then the environment you have is the ripple. So things rippling forward. So we'll put that here. And then the animal is the sloth. So I understand that one kind of feels like the other side of the wisteria, right? Where it was just sit back and enjoy. It's like the Hanged Man. So let's take a look here at the different ones. So we've got, there we go, the nostalgia one here first. And you had the developing film or developing photos, which is memories, reminders, and hints that are coming in. And then the color, which was the BuzzFeed yellow, is energetic, lively, and spirited. So I kind of feel like these together, you're remembering times that were some pretty fiery times, right? Just some dramatic times in the past here. And then also, let's take a look here. I love these cards. And is this the, I think this is the environment. And you have the ripple. Okay, actually, I think it's this one over here. And the ripple is about consequences, movement, and fallout. And then the animal, of course, is the sloth, which, you know, is relaxed, reserved, and lazy. And so I feel like with this movement and stuff, like I was talking about on one side, this is very much confirmation of understanding that before you take actions, it's okay to step back and to watch and see what you see in this place of rest before you take action. And this is like this memories of some past drama that came up, some old memories that are making themselves known here. So I feel like this is the treat where you are really connecting into your intuition, into your gut and understanding, and it's keeping you from going back into something like this. This is the trick. This is being drawn back out into that drama. Like I was talking about the twin sisters, or the two sisters, and with that same individual, how that could have been very dramatic, but it turned out not to be. But there's this opportunity, this trick that is going to be coming up to show you how much you've grown, and to also bring old beliefs and mindsets back up to you. So we're also going to pull here from the tarot of the magical forest, and let's see what else they want you to have going on here. So I feel like this is a time to really trust your intuition if you want to kind of try to stay out of trouble, right? But, you know, trouble. What is that all about anyway, right? So they do want these three. What else, please? Actually, they do want these two here. All right, so these are your cards, and let's see what they bring here. Okay, so I kind of feel like these are two are this side, these are two this side, and this is the middle. So we'll look over here again. So you have the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles is your outside world. It's your beliefs, how you're looking at things. And you can see here how these people might feel abandoned, out in the cold, left by humankind on the outside, right? And the Five of Pentacles does bring in this energy of feeling like you can't depend on the outside world for your sustenance and what you feel your needs are. The Five is a number of transformation, which moves us from this belief that the outside world brings us what we need in each moment, and it switches us to where we're looking upward. You know, the Five of Pentacles stained glass window here shows us that it's the universe, it's the creator, it's source, whatever you believe your higher power is, that brings in our moment by moment sustenance. And where the outside world might be fickle and, you know, depending on their mood, they might withhold from us or not, the creator, of course, has unconditional eternal love for us, not even one condition. So we're not in danger of losing that love and feeling that abandonment and this, you know, out in the coldness from the spirit world. And so there's this transformation here. And I love this about, taking time away, looking, trusting your intuition and your gut, because when you connect to the higher realms, then you have that source of security. You know that you're going to have everything you need in each moment, and you develop that trust with the higher realms instead of the other. And so these ripples, this energy, this before you make movement, you do look to the source, because they're the ones that are have that love for you, that have your back, that won't try to do anything to trick you, right? So this is all fitting in here. And then you also have the Four of Cups. Yeah. So the Four of Cups shows, I love how they show someone meditating here, kind of, like we were talking about, you step away from everything. And these three cups are the cups of the outside world that don't fill us up. And those are relationships, situations like job, education, etc. And then things like our bodies, our bank accounts, and our possessions. Those things are not fulfilling because they're not eternal, they're temporary, and they're unstable. People change or they pass away. And so relationships aren't this solid thing that gives us continual fulfillment. And of course, situations never stay the same. They're constantly changing. And things break down, deteriorate, stolen, burn down, explode, stolen, whatever it might be. So those outside things, with the cups being our emotions, are not emotionally fulfilling for very long, if at all. And we eventually turn inward and upward, which is what's offered to us here from the heavens, this Ace of Cups, the chalice, the Holy Grail. And what is that full of? What we were talking about here, which is the unconditional love of the Creator of all things. So this treat that is coming in here for us is this opportunity to take a step back, to take a deep breath, meditate, connect to the higher realms. And that keeps us from going into these beliefs, repeating these cycles that we're bored with, or feeling the abandonment. Now let's look over at these and see what comes in here. You have the Ace of Wands, which Wands is all about your passion, your drive, your inspiration. And with this fiery energy here, this BuzzFeed yellow was about activity, was about movement, was about, this spark that's happening. So this is bringing in this spark into your life. Your energy is really, igniting with this trick area, right? So something might be triggering you here. Yeah, and you have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is normally celebration, normally joy. But with it being Three of Cups and with it being something from the past that's triggering here, because I feel like this is what's happening. This is like a kind of a three-person type of interaction. So it could be, of course, the old standard painful situation where you find out that there's a third party involved in your supposedly two people relationship. So this could be an old memory coming across an ex, or coming across the person that your ex had been with, or, something along those lines. Or maybe it was you and you come across the person that you had gone outside the relationship with. Whatever this spark is, whatever this thing is, it's bringing in this trickster energy, right? It's bringing in this opportunity for you to see what it is in your life that triggers you, that makes you feel small, that makes you feel caged and blinded and bound. So when this opportunity arises, I feel like whatever situation this is, like maybe you're going to a Halloween party, maybe this is during the holidays, this is like a foreshadow of what's coming, that you bump into someone that triggered a lot of pain in your past with your own emotional triggers, and you have the opportunity to spark in your emotions and everything, just with your trigger activating. Or you take a step back and you take a deep breath and you have this solid connection that makes you avoid the ripples that would come out from this. So it's like you have this opportunity with the trick or the treat. And the treat would be, you're able to make an emotional choice that's more of love rather than this fear of losing love or conditional love on this side. And let's see what they want just for this situation. Oh my gosh. Boom. There we go. So this is the Two of Cups, the Two of Chalices, which is all about emotional choice. You know, every moment is a choice between unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love. And this is this opportunity that you get to find out what you want to choose in the moment. And there's no wrong choice. You know, we come here to experience this. This is what we have back home. And we come here to experience the opposite so we can understand unconditional love by experiencing conditional love, peace by experiencing chaos, you know, joy and happiness by experiencing sadness and resentment and all the emotions that are tied to these triggers from fear. So there's no wrong choice. They're just different choices. They feel differently. And so this is this opportunity coming up. So you get to have your trick or your treat, but either is the perfect choice for what you're going through in your life at the moment. And I love it for you. So this beautiful energy coming in here for this opportunity, because in either case, if you choose this later, you will choose this, and you'll be able to reflect back and see this beautiful contrast. Or if you choose this right off the bat, maybe you have chosen this several times before, and now you're choosing that one, which shows you the progress and where you're at in your journey now. So beautiful, beautiful reading for you. I love this. Now, if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these pick a card readings, I also have weekly energy updates for each individual zodiac sign, monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign, and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of these and get a notification immediately as soon as they're available, if you give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button, and then clicking that subscribe button gives you access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, there is this option for all. And if you select that, 1, you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. And 2, you'll be notified when I go live to provide free readings on YouTube. I know, this is a timeless pick a card reading, so you might be seeing this at any time. But I do go on quite a bit to provide free readings. So if you want to get notified of that, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that all. Now, doing those things also helps spread the Zen love, and it does help my channel grow in significant ways, because when you like or share one of my videos, comment on one of my videos, or subscribe to the channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so happy it wants to share the videos of this channel automatically with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, please know I'm very, very grateful for that. And these are general readings. If you're looking for personal information, like more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings. All that information will be listed in the description box of this video below. All right, all of you beautiful ghosts, as you go throughout this wonderful, wonderful adventure and opportunity of trick or treat, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and Father of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing adventure. We'll be talking soon. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care. If you chose reading number 2, which is the pumpkins, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off picking a card here from the Seed and Sickle deck. Any of the cards I use in a reading, by the way, I do list in the description box below. So if any of them catch your eye and you want them for yourself, you know where you can pick them up. And this deck is really quite unique because it has both a dusk and a dawn little book that comes with it. So one will be the trick and one will be the treat, I imagine. And we'll see what Spirit wants you to know right now. Okay, one more time here. All right. So for those that chose the pumpkin, what would you like them to know? What's the trick or treat that's coming their way? All right. They do want that one right there. And you have the Buttercup. So buckle up, Buttercup. Here it comes. Card number 5. We'll put this right here. And we'll start off here with the Dawn book. and see what comes here for the buttercup. It says, a Persian legend tells of a prince who fell in love with a beautiful nymph. So taken was he by her beauty that he serenaded her day and night, certain that she would come to love him back. Take heed of the prince's determination and keep moving towards your goal, even if at times it can seem as though nothing is changing. Your passion and determination will pay off with time. All right, so we've got that very positive energy coming in here about, well, maybe not totally positive, right? It's like, it feels like it's taking forever for something to grow. And so there's like this patience message, which could be a trick, right? I know it's like a dirty word these days. Patience, bah, humbug. And then the dusk card, the dusk book of this, does tell of that same story of the Persian prince. And it says the common ending for the tale is that they wed, but another popular ending suggests that the nymph became so frustrated with the prince's rowdiness that she turned him into a buttercup simply to silence him. Wow. So take a step back where the prince did not and reassess your situation. Sometimes it's more beneficial to be patient and let things happen in their own time. So I feel like that is the trick. This one is the impatience, the rowdiness that ended up where someone gets silenced because they don't keep their tongue, or they don't kind of balance their energy. So this will be the trick and that will be the treat, right? Now we also have these wonderful BuzzFeed Oracle that have 4 different decks with it. And so we'll do each of these. This one's nostalgia. So let's take a look here. This will be for showing us old stuff, right? Okay, so that's the one here. And then we also have the colors. So we'll see what color wants to come out here for these situations. Okay. And then we have environment. So we'll pull from here too. Okay. And then we have animal, or animals. Let's see what animal wants to make itself known for this. Okay. So that's the one. So we'll start off here. First, we have flip phones. So there we go. I feel like that one's going to go over here. And then we also have bubble gum. So I like that. We'll put this one over here. And then the environment is sunrise. And I feel like that one goes over here. And then the animal is the peacock. Which goes over here. Yeah, this makes sense, I think. And we'll see what each of these brings in here. It's just a little blurb for each one here. So flip phones is serious, down to earth, or down to business, not down to earth, and diligent. So this is really serious about their energy and where they're investing it, right? And then I want to read the peacock here first. And the peacock is show off, boast, and brag. So I felt like these two go together because this is that energy of they won't stop texting, they won't stop calling, they won't stop communicating, and they're overdoing it. And they're doing this. This is the bragging. This is them trying to show themselves. This is trying, it's like the competition, right? That they're trying to get the attention of someone or something, right? So I feel like this is the overdoing it energy that's showing it in this kind of type of energy. And then let's take a look here. So sunrise is the environment over here, which this would be the patience area, right? And this is about start, begin, activate type of energy. And the color is the bubblegum, which is, this is talking about clingy, inseparable, and attached. But I kind of feel like this is sticking to your guns, sticking in place instead of so the clinging energy I felt is like, you know how like you're walking and you step on gum, but this gum is so big and it's so sticky that it keeps you in place. It gets you ready for the sunrise, gets you ready to have the start here. So there is this just hold still, wait for it. The sun rises and the sun sets. There is cycles and it's timing. And so that's what I feel like with these two and these energies that are coming in. Now we also will pull here from the Tarot of the Magical Forest, and we'll see what else Spirit wants you to know here. But I like this coming in. So it's all about too much action or the patience and allowing it to unfold. So one more time here. There we go. So I keep on moving the mat here. All right. So for those that chose the pumpkin, okay, so they do want that one here and that one here. And it just dawned on me, you know, the pumpkins turning midnight was like Cinderella. You know how she had until midnight until the clock struck, and then everything, her carriage turned back into pumpkins. And I kind of feel like that's what's going on here with timing and the storytelling that's going on here. So let's take a look here and see more about the trick that's happening here. So there is the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles is about abundance in the outside world and trying to have all this fulfillment and wholeness in the outside world. And we also have the World card. So trying to have the world in your hands, but this is ending of major cycles and beginning of new adventures too. So what I feel with this is that there's this just this drive that's going on that you're feeling like you need to have this wholeness and this completeness in the outside world, right? And that there's so much pressure, so much just expectations around it that it's causing this energy to be overly ambitious. And it could be in relationship, it could be in education, work, body, money, possessions. And there's so much that we're trying to do because of all those things that we've been told that we need in order to be this peacock, right? To be seen, to look in a positive manner. And so it's almost like there's this desperation almost to, I've got to find someone to be with. I've got to have a great job. I've got to finish school. I've got to have this social status. I've got to have this type of body. Got to have this much money. I've got to have this house, this car, these clothes, these possessions. I mean, all this stuff that's just thrown into us, right? And it's causing situations where we're trying to rush people into things or push ourselves too far in a lot of ways. And this is about, it'll end up with significant endings and new beginnings, like it talked about here with the nymph that was like, oh my God, enough, and turned him into a buttercup to shut him up, right? And so I feel like if you continue on this path with this trick, this is how we're tricked in the outside world, in that world of fears that are rooted in unconditional love, that we're told all this stuff is what you need, that eventually something has to give. Either our bodies will give us forced R&R, or relationships will end. We're trying too hard, and we end up, everyone hates us at work because we're stepping all over everyone to get above them, or we take on too much of a workload in school, or we overdo it like with our bodies and whatever it might be, or we go into a lot of debt trying to get stuff, and we just end up losing something so significant in our life that it changes our, the cycle that we were in. So that's what happens with this trick, and that trick is what draws us out into overdoing things. Now let's take a look over here with patience. So we do have the Six of Cups here, which is actually the nostalgia card in the tarot. And this is about looking back over memories and past things and learning from them too. It's emotional memories. And it makes sense here as we're sitting here, pausing and taking our time and being patient, we can do a lot of inner reflection and understand that any of the pain we had in the past, any of the disappointments we had in the past, that every moment is either of unconditional love of the higher realms or of the fear of losing conditional love of the human realm. And when you go back and look at a memory, if it is of unconditional love, hallelujah, joyful, type of energy, great. We don't have a whole lot of that in our earlier lives. It's usually something of fear. And when we go back and look at that, we understand that when our human side, when our little inner child, it feels unsafe or it feels out of control, it does sound an alarm and throws our whole body into fight or flight mode. And when that happens, blood literally leaves our brain to go to our arms and legs for us to fight and for us to run like crazy, right? And so when we do that and we have this, thing activated, we are literally out of our minds because our body has us in this reactionary mode where we're more like an animal, like a cat who, when they get scared, they don't tap us and go, let me down because I'm about to freak out. It either fights or claws up over our back, over our head, and runs and hides somewhere. And that's what we go into. And when we realize that, when we go back and look at, these memories during this holding period, we can see that the painful memories were because we were going into fight or flight mode, and that igniting of that adrenaline in our body and our heart is like someone startles us, and you have that, in your heart. And we realize that we go out of our minds and we're not making emotionally sane decisions. We are, out of our mind. Like we said, they're reactionary, so they're not kind and they're not thinking about anyone else. It's not, these loving things we do. It's all selfish, trying to feel safe and back in control again. That's why when someone yells fire in a theater, people crawl over each other trying to get out instead of calmly single filing moving out, because their animalistic nature has gone into play. So when you go back and look at a memory that's of pain, you realize you were not yourself, that other people that were involved in it were most likely in fear too, acting like animals. And so you start to look at the whole situation differently, the other people differently, and yourself differently too. So there's this wonderful evolving that happens here. Yeah. And you have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is a kinder change of fate. This is ending of major cycle and new beginning with the situation here, kind of like a forced beginning. And this is that the fates are turning. And because you have made these choices and you've been this reflection, it does move you into this wonderful, wonderful new experiences, new adventures in your life. So these both have new beginnings, but one is this wonderful, positive, woo, it brings all wonderful things into your life. And the other is dun, dun, dun. It's like the forced change, right? And then let's see what both of these together, what they wanted to know around all of this. Yeah. So you have the 10 of Wands, another ending and new beginning. Yeah, you have 3 10s and the World card. So this is can be looked at 2 different ways, and I love it. It's either that you are so exhausted, because the wands are your drive, ambition, passion, inspiration. So you can look at it, all the burdens that you've been carrying with this, that you're getting released from, or you can look at it as all the time and all the stuff you put in here. This is the harvest that you're able to carry. So one is burden, one is harvest, on whichever way you choose to experience here. And either one is right and either one is wrong. We come here to experience this, and we're capable of experiencing this too. And, the fear of losing conditional love and unconditional love. And they just feel differently, even though they are, like I said, they're not right or wrong. They just feel different. Yeah, and then you have the Hermit card. And the Hermit card does show you that this is like the inner journey that we go on, and then in that beautiful, beautiful lantern that it carries is connection to our higher self, which helps guide our path. And it's like this patience here, this is the chosen going inward and choosing to step away and make sure that time with ourselves, reflecting on things and having this, movement that is a steady, wonderful movement in our life, and the brightness when its timing is right, the wheel of fortune changes and brings in the stuff, and while we're in the waiting room, we've been doing the inner work, which makes the next phase even more wonderful. Or we have eventual forced hermithood here, where wherever we were doing, we were turned to a buttercup and silenced. So this is forced hermithood, and this was chosen hermithood. And so I love the two sides that it shows here. And again, sometimes we're like, I want this because I've been doing this for a long time and I'm ready for some drama, right? But when we've had enough drama, we also have this choice over here, which is beautiful. So I love this for you, buttercups, all you pumpkins. Now, if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these pick a card readings, I also do weekly energy updates for each individual zodiac sign, and also monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign, and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get notified immediately when they're available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, and then also click the subscribe button, and that gives you access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, there's an all option. If you select it, 1, you will be notified of any new videos that come out on the channel. And 2, you'll also be notified when I go live on YouTube to provide free readings. This is a timeless pick a card, so by the time you see this, I might have changed like how often I go on it, but right now I do go daily, and even on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, twice a day. So if you want to come check that out, make sure to subscribe to the channel here and hit that notification bell, and you'll get notified when I go live. Also, doing all those things helps spread the Zen love, and it does help my channel grow in significant ways. Because when you like or share one of my videos, comment on one of my videos, subscribe to the channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so happy, it wants to automatically share the videos of my channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things I mentioned, please know I am very, very grateful for that. And these are general readings. If you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I also offer personal readings. All that information is listed in the description box of the video below. All right, all of you pumpkin patches, as you go throughout this adventure, please know every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing trick or treat. We'll be talking with you soon. Until then, you hang in there and you take care. And if you chose reading number 3, which is the Black Cat, then this is the reading for you. We're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Seed and Sickle Oracle. Now, any of the cards I use in a reading I do list in the description box below, so if any of them catch your eye and you want them for yourself, you know where you can pick them up. And this deck is pretty cool because it actually has 2 little books that come with it, one for the dawn and one for the dusk. So one will be the trick and one will be the treat. So let's take a look here and see, for all of you that chose reading number 3 with the Black Cat, what they would like you to know. What's your trick or treat that they would like you to be aware of that's coming towards you? What's headed your way? All right. So you do have the willow. Beautiful. One of my favorite trees too. And that is card number 23. We'll put that down here. And my favorite color too. So maybe this is for all of us, right? Let's take a look here. And let's see, we're going to read from the Dusk book first. And let me just find the willow in here. There we go. And it says the Anu people, I think it's Ainu, people of Japan, believe that the human backbone was originally formed from the bending length of a willow branch. Wow. There's something human about the stooping form of a willow tree, like a person in mourning. Yet no matter how hard the winds blow, it simply bends and does not let itself be broken. Even when the river wears away at its bank, the willow's roots remain deep and steady. With the willow, we learn to grow through adversity. Hold on until the storm has passed. Wow, beautiful. And let's see what this would be the Dawn says about this. And it says the willow tree is characterized by its thin, pliable branches, and it's time that you take a leaf out of its book. Learning to be more adaptable in your mindset is a valuable skill, and soon you're going to find yourself in a situation where you'll need to be more flexible. Try not to get too stuck on thoughts of how you've always done things or how things have always been. Embrace a new outlook and try things differently. You may be surprised by the results. All right, so I feel like that's going to be the trick, because that's talking about we're going to find ourselves in a situation where we have an opportunity to be more flexible, right? Where this feels like it's this encouragement about weathering the storm. You know, it talked about how the root system is so deep. Well, a willow tree, it's an amazing tree because it focuses on growing its root system first. You might see like this little stump of a tree above the ground for a long time, while its all root system is intertwining with other root systems, and it's doing whatever it can do, deep and wide, and grabbing onto things. And then it starts to shoot up the trunk, and then the thin little branches that don't snap off, and it is very flexible. So I feel like that is the blessing here about being able to weather the storm, and this is about flexibility, opportunity on its way. So we're also going to look at these BuzzFeed Oracle, and I love these. There's 4 little stacks. The first one is nostalgia, which is all about the past, and they want this top one here. And then we have colors. So let's take a look here and see what color would like itself known. Okay, that is the one here. And then we have environment next. Okay, which is that one here. And then we have animal. That'll be the last one. Watch it be a black cat, right? If not, we'll be okay with it. I don't know if there's a black cat in there. So it says hiding in clothing racks. I feel like that's over here. And then we also have pumpkin spice. Whoa, pumpkin spice. So I feel like that's over here. And then we have the eclipse is the environment. We'll put that over here. And then the animal, well, it's a toad. Look at that with the phone. That's funny. And these do have little just a couple words that go with them. So for the clothing rack, this is about hidden, secret, and possibly lost. And I kind of feel like that's like hiding, like withdrawing during the storm. And then we have the pumpkin spice, which is cozy, safe, and secure. So that makes sense there. And then eclipse is the environment, which the eclipse is, of course, this is overshadowing, dominate, influence. Eclipses are the abnormal that comes, right? Because we're right in the middle of eclipses that are happening. We had the new moon eclipse right now at the recording time of this. I know this is timeless. So at the time of this recording, we're just coming out of a Scorpio new moon partial eclipse. And then in about a week and a half, we have the full lunar eclipse in Taurus. So we've got right in the middle of the eclipse season, which is the oddities, right? Like we normally have the sun and like, where's the sun going? What's that thing moving in front of the sun and creating the shadow? And at night, the full moon going, oh my God, where's the moon going? Who's taking the moon? It's this opportunity for flexibility, right? To go with the flow of what's happening with the planetary cycles. So I like that being in this one. And then this toad is hilarious. It's worry, doubt, apprehension. So how perfect these are for both of those scenarios that unfolded. And I almost feel like this toad is, how you do dating apps and stuff on phones and you're like, oh, I'm going to find a frog prince, right? I kissed the frog and it turns into a prince. Well, that was a toad. That wasn't a frog. And I kind of feel like there's this perception of individuals that's happening here too. But let's dig in a little more here through the tarot of the magical forest. And we're just going to see what else Creator and Spirit want you to know about what's coming for you in this trick or treat scenario. All right, so for those that chose the black cat, what else would you like them to know, please? Okay, so I feel like we do this. Okay, and then these two go here. All right, let's see what we have unfolding here. So let's start with our little opportunity for flexibility over here. Yeah, so we have the Ace of Swords, and Ace of Swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our attitudes, our expectations. And the Ace of Swords is a tool that's being given to you. It's like the lesson that comes with this flexibility, because the Ace of Swords allows you to connect to higher truths, capital T truths, but it also allows you to cut away those small t truths, all those expectations that are rooted in the fear of losing conditional love. They sound like supposed to and should and need to and have to and must. All those opinions that we've had from the past on how things should be unfolding. The sun should always shine. Where is it going? The moon should always be there. Why is it disappearing? And during the full moon. And they're like, oh my God, what's going on? And so especially when I saw this, I immediately thought of, individuals that we swipe left, swipe right. Who are we trying to find? Who are people supposed to be? Who am I supposed to be? What's a relationship supposed to be? And it can be anything in the outside world, relationships, situations like jobs and education and social status, or our bodies or our bank accounts or our possessions, whatever it may be. We're given a lot of expectations in the world where we don't get flexible. It becomes so thin of like things have to happen within this thing. And we miss all the opportunities out here, and we miss all the opportunities out here with our inflexibility. So this opportunity that's coming up, it's like, it's so stressful, first of all, trying to maintain all those expectations and not have this go, like it's like one of those bear trap things that, its normal state is this, but we try to set it, which I don't believe in bear trapping, by the way. I'm just saying is that that spring that's in things, it's like it takes so much to get things set that it takes so much energy to maintain that, is kind of what we were looking at with that. And so that's like where we're at in this situation here. Yeah, and you have the Nine of Wands. So all the blocks, Wands is your drive, your ambition, your passion, your inspiration. And normally that other wand is here where it feels like there's this block that we're unable to get through. And it's because of our expectations. It's because of our inflexibility. But I like this card because it shows that the Ace of Wands that he has in his hands, which means he's taking back his power, understanding his participation in the blocks and these things, because these are all our beliefs and our thoughts and all that energy we're using to maintain it, that they remove it. And when we're able to remove that block and be flexible, we can pass right through there, and then the block is removed. So there is this opportunity that's coming up where if we choose the trick and we go into this adventure, that we will on the other side understand our power to cut away expectations and the power we have to remove the blocks as well. So, yes, it's going to be an adventure, some uniqueness, some strangeness that's happening, but we will glean from it like we do in any of our challenging opportunities in our life. And now let's look at the storm over here. Yeah, you get the 7 of Cups. So while you're hiding away from the storm, it's a great time for us to really reflect on our emotions and understanding what is happening, that we don't have to fall into those expectations of how I'm supposed to feel in a situation, that we learn our emotional power of choice in that, maybe before that's the emotion that we were taught. When you feel this thing, when you're going through this thing, this is how you have to feel. And we're like, okay. But you realize later that you have the power to choose what you want to feel in each moment, and that you're opening up to this. And so you're able to go with the flow of things like the willow. You're able to go and bend with the storm. Like if they don't have your pumpkin spice latte available, like when they stop, I know, be prepared. They're going to stop serving that at some point. I know they start at one point and they end at another. And when we understand the cycle and we're okay, we're like, oh, it's right. I just appreciate it so much more when it's only here for a certain amount of months instead of having it all year long. You have a power to choose what you want to feel as you go through any situation. It's funny that they brought up pumpkin spice. Yeah. And you have the 10 of Wands. So you have the 9 of Wands here. And the 10 of Wands here shows that you learned that you were at the end of a journey, the end of adventure. Maybe you already went through something like this recently. Because the 10 of Wands is the endings and new beginnings. You're ready to put down all of that, like you have put down all of this energy, the burden, and because the 10 is endings and new beginnings, and you have learned to invest your energy in a new way instead. So you understand the storm and you kind of just step back into yourself rather than feel like you have to weather. And you ever see like when there's a hurricane or something happening and someone's like out in it and they're holding on to something and they're almost flying in the air because it takes so much when you're out in the storm. And this is about weathering the storm, about pulling back into you, right? Into understanding this as all this unfolds here. So I love what you've learned, because I feel like maybe you've gone through this and this is like this, because of that, you've weathered storms before and you understand them and you understand your emotional choices as you face other storms, and they don't feel so weird and so burdensome, and it doesn't feel like you're going through boot camp. It feels like you are having a beautiful latte, sitting in a clothing store in the middle of a clothing rack, just enjoying the silence. And then this card is like, what's the culmination of this together here? And you have the moons. Yeah. So it's funny that we had the eclipses here too. So the moon is, a wonderful about cycles and understanding how things unfold, and that there's always new moons and full moons and new moons and full moons, and then new moon, eclipses and full moon eclipses, and there's all the different stuff that happens in our life, and there's a lot of unknowns that are beneath the surface and that we don't know it all. But with the moon, it's such an emotional energy, like the cups, right? Because Mother Luna, she impacts the ebb and flow of our emotions. And, like the water of the planet, the tides are impacted by the moon. Well, we're made out of water, so we're also impacted by the moon's, different phases, and how close it is during the supermoon and when it's on its regular axis and it's further away a little bit. And so we are impacted by those things. But when you understand the cycles of the end, the cycle here, like this one, this doesn't seem weird and it doesn't throw us off. We just understand it and flow with it instead of trying to control the moon and going through all that, right? So a wonderful, wonderful ahas that are coming through both situations here. But again, I feel like this is an aftermath of like something like this that you've gone through before, and you kind of are able just to sit within the storm, understanding it, and not feel like you have to be out in it trying to control the storm. So beautiful, beautiful energies coming in, and I love that for you. And the black cat actually in the tarot usually shows up like in the Queen of Wands card, which is about, managing her energy and her power. And then the black cat on there is the water element that comes in because all queens, in addition to ruling over their own element, are all given water as well. So she's half fire, half water, which allows her to connect to the higher realms as well. Like the high priestess connects, in her temple to the moon energy and to the higher realms. So there is this connection here with the black cat energy. If you chose number 3, to trust your gut and trust your intuition, connect to the higher worlds, and connect to and follow like the cycles of the moon, those will impact you. I do in my weekly energy update videos, which I'll talk about just briefly here in a sec. I put those out every week. And whenever there's a new moon or a full moon, I talk about the new moon energies, the new moon wishes, what kind of energies that sign has. And with the full moon, like what kind of release ceremonies you can do with around those energies. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified when those come out. Because in addition to these videos, I do put out those weekly energy updates and the monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign. The weekly energy is also by each individual zodiac sign, and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on those and get that notification immediately when they're available, if you give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button, and then by clicking the subscribe button, you're given access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, there is this option for all. If you click on that, then 1, you will be notified of all the videos. But number 2, you also get notified when I go live to provide readings on YouTube. And I know I do that currently. I know this is a timeless reading, but currently I do it every day of the week, and then also twice a day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you want to stop by and check it out, I'd love to see you. Also, doing those things helps spread the Zen love, and it does help my channel grow in significant ways, because when you like or share one of my videos, comment on one of my videos, or subscribe to the channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so crazy excited. It wants to share the videos automatically with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things I mentioned, please know I'm very, very grateful for that. And these are general readings. If you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I also offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box of the video below. All right, all you black cats, when you are going through this amazing experience, whether you're in the storm or weathering the storm in a wonderful place, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and Father of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing storm. And in the meantime, please hang in there and please take care of yourself. We'll be talking with you soon.